Hello, hello. Let's try this again. Welcome to another Monday Night Football at the Lions Den Podcast, episode 55, La Liguilla, Leon versus Puebla. We are here to talk about everything Club Leon in English, getting ready for La Liguilla because the top 8 are set. Have lots to talk about in regards to what happened this weekend in Repechaje. Lots of ups and downs because it's Liga MX, and I think we can summarize the Repechaje as the 2020, especially the last Monterrey versus Puebla game. Shout out to Carlos. He could not be here with us tonight, but we're holding down the fort for him. Tonight, Louis, Jose, and Javier, we're ready to talk about everything La Liguilla. So let's go ahead and cue the clip because we are in La Liguilla mode. Gentlemen, how are you feeling tonight?
Whew.
Ready to get this thing underway. ready to put Puebla to bed. Ready to put Puebla to bed. We don't want that Cinderella story moniker to get attached to them and have all the fair weather fans who don't have any dog in the fight to suddenly want Puebla to go far because of that miracle that they pulled off, the miracle in the Coloso de Guadalupe. That was fun. It had its time. Now let's get down to business and get them out and move on.
I agree with Louis. You don't want that Cinderella story at all to continue. That being said, I'm excited. I'm confident. Like probably we all thought we were gonna face Pachuca prior to that game starting. And then what Puebla did, I celebrated it a little because I didn't want to face Pachuca. I didn't want to see a Martinez ball. I wanted to see something else, and Puebla to me is a good team. We're not going to underestimate them, but yeah. That being said, I agree with Louis. I think we need to show people, because there's a lot of people out there saying that León is going to be eliminated in the first round. Que el superlíder para que te funciona, and you kind of want to shut them up. So yeah, I definitely want them to make an example of Puebla in that sense. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game, but I do think León has what it takes to shut some people up.
Jose.
I mean, before all this, at least from Luis and my perspective, we thought for sure we were going to get Toluca, and then that happened, and then we thought, okay, it's going to be Pachuca, because Puebla out of all three, it was the unlikeliest of winners. We definitely thought that they were gonna lose. I didn't put my money in Puebla at all, out of all three. But hey, I'd rather get Puebla than Pachuca, who came out with the stellar performance versus Santos out of nowhere. I was like,
yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, one thing is to admit that
the best team. Pachuca was the best team in the Repechaje.
Pachuca,
let's not mince words about that. Let's be clear. I think we're all in agreement. We watched the Repechaje games. Pachuca. There was always this question about how would these teams come out? Would they be flat? Would they look like, not out of rhythm, out of sorts? And a couple did. I don't think Necaxa did not come to play at all. Santos looked completely out of sorts. But I mean, I think that had a lot to do with Pachuca. I mean, Pachuca came out to play. They came to play. And when I saw that, and then it was looking more and more like they were going to be our opponent. And then when Toluca fell to Tigres, and our last chance to not play Pachuca was for Puebla to pull off the miracle. And I thought, at that point, you're just like, I'm not even a praying man. I'm not a religious person. I do not pray. But it was kind of like praying that Puebla pulls off some kind of miracle, and we don't have to face Pachuca in the first round. Because, Kadi, you talk about trap games. I know you think of this as a trap game. You can talk about that yourself. But, like, I'd rather go into a trap game than a legitimate threat to be eliminated in the first round, just because we're the quality of the opponent after that we're going to face, who's in rhythm, coming off this long break.
Yeah.
I'll take the trap game against Puebla 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. We'll eventually have to face Pachuca probably in the semifinals, but I'd rather face it in the semis rather than right now. Like that's a tough opponent to face in a quarterfinal.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
no surprise that Pachuca has been the best defensive team. So, me personally going in that Santos game, I mean, to me, it was going to be a close game. But then when I saw what was on the field and Pocho actually just being the motor for them, it was just enough
yeah,
said. But it just came out to be the best team. Santos, uninspired. You saw Correran do as much as he could, but honestly, no one else was kind of,
mm-mm.
Honestly,
it was just flat. Santos flat. And you saw
yeah.
Huevo Lozano on the bench kind of suffering because he wished he could be out there on the field doing what he can do best. And then Dio Valdez wasn't even on the bench. So, I
Hmm.
mean, you couldn't really ask for anything
Yeah,
more.
yeah. And
Yeah.
plus, I think the other part of it, I kept saying it. I wanted to see this game because I know that Grupo Orlegui and Grupo Pachuca don't like each other. That Iraragorri and Jesus Martinez Patiño, they don't like each other. So that being said, I was just kind of like, no matter what, I wanted Pachuca to win because I hate Orlegi Sports, and especially not even before the bronca with Ambris and the fact that Almada said, "Oh, well, Ambris started it," and then like not even like 20 minutes in the game, he gets like a yellow card because he's like already arguing. It kind of just shows you like, no, bro, it was always you. That's now we know Nacho. Nacho doesn't have that style of he's not a sore winner. Why would he even make like that? Didn't make any sense to me. So that being said, I just wanted Pachuca to win. I thought it was gonna be close. I thought it was gonna go to a penalty shootout, but dang, 3-0. And you're right, Pachuca fue el mejor de los equipos de repechaje in that sense that they actually have a style of playing. They know que juegan, and that's a little scary facing them right off the bat in cuartos. With Jose, I feel Pumas might win anyway because I still don't want to face them. See, if Pachuca wins, it's automatically we're gonna face them, right? So
Hmm.
I'm hoping Pumas could pull that off, but
Oh,
independientemente, I already said.
I totally
Sorry.
think Pumas can pull that off. I think that's going to be a. I mean, it's going to be a close battle. I mean, my point, our point really is just that Pachuca is a much better team than Puebla is, and so,
Yeah.
and if we want at this point, we want to coronarnos, and we want
Hmm.
we want the straightest path
Yeah.
to that happening. We don't,
Puebla is the
yeah,
way.
we want to see good games, and we want to
Yeah.
face the best opponents and beat them. But I mean, if we can avoid the best team coming out of the repechaje, like
Yeah.
what an ironic thing that would have been. Our grand prize for finishing in first place would be to play the best team undeniably that came out of the
Uh-huh.
repechaje. That would be an
That would have
ironic twist, and I think it's great. No, instead we play the Cinderella story, that's going up
better.
the kings of the table. I think that's a much better narrative
Yeah.
Well,
for everybody concerned.
like,
Yeah, 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 for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, see, like Kari mentioned that she thought this is a trapping. Well, you mentioned a Cinderella story. Well, I think I already seen this picture before, guys. Cinderella story was last season, so let's not what happened last season happen this season. Like we can't.
Nah,
With
Jose.
Morelia?
Nah.
Or are we talking
Puebla's
about
much more of a
I know,
Cinderella
I
story
know, I
than
know. I
Morelia
know it's
was.
I know
Yeah.
I know it's different. I know it's
Yeah.
different, but overconfidence
Oh
can
yeah.
yeah.
bring you
Oh, for
down.
sure. Yeah, with
No,
Morelia.
definitely learn from past mistakes. We were definitely overconfident in that two leg tie with Morelia, obviously. But this is just a much more mature team. Uh, I mean, I like to think that they are a much more mature team from what
I
we
would
saw
like to
this
think so,
season.
yeah.
They're coming back in so many matches, showing the maturity,
Yeah,
doing the
yeah.
necessary things to get the results. I think this team is in a different headspace than the one that completely underestimated Morelia. But let's also keep in mind Morelia was nothing close to the Cinderella story that Puebla is. I mean, how
Exactly.
many years without even making a Liguilla
Yeah.
has Puebla gone? Like they have no business
Almost
being
like a
there.
decade.
They have no business being there, and we got to go in to this leg one in Puebla and make sure they understand that
Yeah.
from the opening whistle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the first liguilla that
Mm-hmm.
the Leon faces Puebla since the 1991-92 final when
Yeah.
we uh got the fifth title in the
Yeah.
franchise. So
Estamos la quinta. Well, yeah, en First Division, porque también hubo amazing games en Segunda División, en Primera A. León y Puebla, lots of semifinales. But that being said, yeah, for sure, I think Puebla is a much better team than Morelia. in terms of that Cinderella story. And aunque les duela, León is a much better team than Monterrey. So that's the thing. People saying, well, we all thought but Monterrey was going to beat Puebla. Yeah, but León isn't Monterrey. One of the things Monterrey doesn't even do is possession of the ball. They don't even want the ball,
Well,
and that's what I noticed.
Well, that's the whole thing. Why like they had it and they let it go. Like
They let
they
it
just have
go.
to control the game, and they like honestly like Puebla tying the game is not like no more than
¿De
because
quién
of
es más
what Puebla
mérito?
did is because what Monterrey stopped doing.
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
but guys, it's gonna be Puebla. Puebla finished that thing out on pure adrenaline,
Yeah,
on
it is.
pure impulse, impulso. Just pure sheer adrenaline in an eliminación directa. It's going to be 100 times more difficult for them to replicate that in a two-leg set.
That's the other
Uh,
thing. Yes, two legs. So
Like,
I think
we're
the
gonna
fact that it's
wait.
a two-leg set. I mean, we're not. That's why, in my opinion, all the best
Mhm.
knockout tournaments in the world use a two-leg set. Eliminación directa is extremely exciting,
Yeah.
but it often doesn't.
if we're not playing,
The best team doesn't often does not come out of those type of formats. So I mean, since our team wasn't involved, it was a heck of a lot of fun to watch these other teams have to
it
go
was
through
so
that.
fun, man.
But
Watch the stuff right
Puebla,
now,
I had a good
Puebla,
time. I had a good
Puebla,
time.
bro. No.
Puebla. I mean, they do not have a roster of substance. I'm sorry. There's a reason they finished in 12th place, 20 points behind the leader of the table. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to replicate that in a two-game series, which is why if it were an eliminación directa, yeah, I'd be a lot more worried.
Mhm.
Because anything can happen in 90 minutes, especially and if it goes to PKs right away. But no, a two-leg series, and the Liga MX rules, the lower seed comes in losing already.
Yeah.
Like if it finishes 0-0-0-0, the higher seed advances. There are no PKs. That whoever scores the first goal can completely turn that whole thing on its head. But I mean, this is a different circumstance than what we saw than the miracle that they pulled off last night, which is why I don't see too much of a sign to be overly concerned about this opponent. I would have been a lot more concerned about pretty much any other opponent, and
I
especially
mean,
Pachuca.
yeah, I think that Monterrey Puebla game was kind of a little deceiving. Was I thinking, yeah, Monterrey could pull this off. They shouldn't have problems. Yes, but I agree with what Louis is saying that they actually finished the game with adrenaline, something that Monterrey just money doesn't buy it. So
No, it
it was
doesn't.
I
just very
mean,
interesting. I mean, you
I,
saw
I mean,
2-0, and then you saw Puebla subbing Osvaldo Martinez, like, hey, come and save the game. You got one in. And then just the ending was just chaotic. And I think how many times have we seen these ending chaotics, and then the team that ended up catching up wins.
well, and just think. I mean, of course, the team that ties the game last minute, and in a game that goes directly to penalties to determine who advances, of course that team is.
Anímicamente,
Of course, that team is going to advance. I mean, that's just the juju. That's
Mhm.
it
that's of
happened.
course. I mean, Jose can probably
Quote that,
research like how
Juju.
many times this has happened, and how many times these shootouts have happened, and when the game was tied, how it was tied, if it was tied up late, and who passed and who didn't. But I'm just thinking, like, of course, when Puebla tied that game late, and then we knew it was going to go to PKs, and like, no way, especially with no fans in attendance, like, there's no way Puebla's going to lose this shootout, and they
Yeah,
didn't.
they
I
didn't.
mean,
But
even with
there's
Sebastian
no
Vegas.
shootouts. There's no
Well,
shootouts in the cuartos de
yeah, I
final.
mean,
This is just a two-leg set. They're going to have a real hard time replicating that.
there's
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
and there's the factor that the unlikeliest of people miss the miss the crucial penalties. Like uh, Nico Sanchez, who never misses a penalty, missed one.
yeah. But
And yeah,
put in consideration that he took two penalties, so maybe in his head after trying to kick a third one, well, like,
hmm
dang, here we go, where I'm going to kick it twice. So that kind of does get in your head. But you're
hmm
right, he did miss in a very crucial penalty shootout. That game when Puebla ended up tying, I think we were all kind of like, hey man, this could happen. León can face Puebla, puede haber clásico nacional, regardless of if you go for those two teams, it's more attractive in a way, for in a lot of ways in La Liguilla. You kind of want these matchups and let them eliminate themselves and let everybody talk about them. I don't really care. I already said who I already want to win. I want Chivas to win because I want Leon to face Chivas in semifinals. Hopefully JJ Macias gets a little better so you can see the 6-7-0 goals they're gonna have to soportar. No, but look, the other game that before the Puebla Monterrey game that I really thought had a better chance of eliminating uno de los Regios was Toluca. Toluca first half awful. Guignac,
Terrible. I lost
yeah,
hope.
me too. But then I kept saying, it doesn't matter though. La maldición de no camp is real. All I could say about that game is that unos fantasmas were just kind of wandering around El Volcán. Las expulsiones, el autogol. It was all kind of like, hey, man, they were this close of Cruz Azulándola. And I think they won because they're not supposed to lose to Toluca. They're supposed to lose to Cruz Azul that way. They're supposed to lose to Cruz Azul, Cruz Azulándola. And then eventually I think it should be Leon, Cruz Azul, and then no camp. Cruz Azul, whatever you do, just lose that game. So Leon can win la octava. You guys can win probably next year. Se acaba la maldición. And Tigres, they get the 25 years of never being champions and just cruzulándola. But that being said, that's all I can say about Toluca game. I do think que los acuchillaron. I do think that era mano. El árbitro didn't want to marcarla, even though he was getting the call from El VAR. Those are the things that actually scare me, guys. It's not really a Pachuca playing well or Puebla being a trap game. It's los árbitros. It really is. I think we have terrible calls every week. Sometimes a favor de León, but sometimes not. And then seeing these kind of calls they did against Toluca, it does kind of get me like, yeah, I'm not really scared of Puebla, Pachuca, or America, or Chivas. I'm more scared of that and la soberbia, que León siempre peca de soberbia. And sometimes they just don't. They have to be like losing 1-0 until they start kind of like, hey, you know what, hay que echarle ganas. And I hope that's the number one thing we are actually better than last year and last seasons, because I think we have everything to be campeones, guys. We have everything. And what Luis said, that we have a really good path right now with Puebla. I agree. I think ya empezamos bien. You know what I mean? Like con este triunfo, and it's not saying like Puebla is an easy team. It's gonna be a piece of cake, but I do think it's the best of all the scenarios.
And they're not an easy team, but they're the easiest team of the options that we had.
Yeah.
And I think that it's good. I mean, this repechaje format has been criticized for fomentando mediocridad and everything, and there's a lot to be said for that.
There's a reason.
But I mean, I think it's appropriate that the team that was so far ahead of all the others faces off against the team that has like the least business being in the competition. Whereas all of the other gigantes are going to beat up on each other right away from cuartos de final. Like you got the other matchups in these cuartos are really intriguing. Really intriguing. I think Pumas Pachuca is gonna be really good. Cruz Azul Tigres is gonna be really good.
Gonna be epic.
Some stars are gonna come out.
America Chivas, I don't think Chivas has enough to do anything really there. They're getting talked up. They're getting talked up like this is their opportunity and all this stuff. They're not going to do anything. They are by far the weakest team of the ones remaining. I don't think they're going to do anything. But those other two matchups, and I love to see all these good teams, beat up on each other. Hopefully,
well, this is what I want.
Hopefully their matches are so tightly contested and toughly fought that no matter who comes out of those, it's not going to have anything left. It's not going to have anything left to face off against León in the semifinals.
Exactly. When I saw Chivas America, I'm like, they're probably going to fight each other. Rabbit broncas, rojas everywhere. So by the time they get to their semifinal, they're going to be weakened in that aspect. But that's kind of what I do see in these other matchups. Those kind of, especially Clásico, you see those kind of scenarios. But I think out of all the games in the repechaje, Pachuca looked the best. I felt Toluca fue acuchillado. I think Puebla was a Cinderella sorpresa story, but we all have to admit it's only going to last a week. And the Chivas Necaxa, Necaxa didn't even show up. I don't even think.
Well, I was surprised
happened.
because they were on this winning streak. So
Ah,
actually, thought
I was
Necaxa was
starting
gonna
this.
pull something, but
Well,
that
then, but
was
I mean, Chivas did beat Monterrey 3-1, causing them to be in 5th place, and then
Yeah.
losing to Puebla.
But they
So-
barely scraped by that Necaxa side that basically didn't. I mean, they did again. They didn't
show
do
up.
anything. They didn't show up. They didn't show up. They did not want to be there.
Well,
And, when I saw them play,
Like-
that was what? That was Saturday. So when I saw that game and I saw Necaxa go out there, what I could kind of see it in their eyes. You're like, even if we win this game, there's no way we get past the rest of the teams after this. So like, why even bother? That's what it seemed like their attitude was to me. And I was afraid we were going to see the same from Toluca and Puebla. And I was glad to see that we didn't. At least they were there putting in an effort. And Toluca came actually with that second half that they played came quite close. They came quite close to making things really interesting.
But I'm telling you,
and then obviously
de los fantasmas de la maldición de no camp, because it was
well, I mean, Sambo only could do so much.
Yeah.
So hear me out. We saw Leo Fernandez had a great season with Luca. Went back to Tigres. Everybody was like, "What? Why? They don't need him. They're gonna play him." If Leo Fernandez was with Toluca facing Tigres, would you guys expect Toluca to advance?
Yes.
It was all part of the plan because Tuca somehow knew that he would face off against Toluca. So his whole plan was to take away their best player and just bench him so that he couldn't hurt them in the repechaje. That must be
Leo,
it,
It has to be it, bro.
Leo Fernandez
what other answer is there?
should have known that if there's one thing you shouldn't go in Mexico because they're gonna bench you, it's Tigres. Like not many players succeed in Tigres because Tuca right away, boom. Doesn't matter what
when we knew he didn't ask for him, he just had to go back. And Toluca, honestly, if I would have been Toluca, I would have done everything to buy his card.
Yes.
Well, that's Toluca's front office is failing. Then you can't really blame Tuca for that. They didn't do enough to keep him. But I mean, I was worried we wouldn't. It was just looking more and more like it was going to be Pachuca, and then Puebla pulled off this miracle, and I think that left everything like in its right place. Everything. I think this is the perfect first round of the Liguilla, all things considered. The matchups that we got.
They're really good.
I'm just hoping all those, because it's going to be a dogfight in all those other fixtures.
I just
even though Puebla has the Cinderella story, I know that we have the capability to beat them. I know that, but we just need to keep it leveled. I mean, there's two legs. Yeah. I understand.
I'll tell you, like these first legs, these away, when you're the top seeded team and you go away for the first leg, those partidos de ida are crucial. Mm-hmm. We have to go out there and set the tone on the road, which is something that we've been pretty good at doing all season. But sometimes I kind of wish that the teams could have the choice of which leg they want to host, whether it be the first or the second. Because when you play away in the second leg, especially when away goals are a factor, and you know how many exactly you have to score, you can kind of like set the tone of. Sometimes I haven't hated when Leon has had to play the second legs away when the away goals have been a factor, and they've been able to advance that way. It's kind of nervy going away because you. I mean, this is why the away goals are a thing, because they want the visiting team to feel inspired to attack, or feel obliged to attack. But these away legs are that we need to go in and get an away goal like in the first 20 minutes or so. That would completely. I feel like that could completely crush Puebla's spirits, like especially if it ends like 1-0 or even 1-1 or like a 2-1. If we go there and win 2-1 with our two away goals, like that, I don't know that I don't think there's any way they're coming back from that. So these away legs with the away goal in play, and you come back home with the away goals and the other tiebreaker with table position. Like that's a difficult thing to overcome. Like Javier and I saw when we went to Morelia and we were leading 3-2, that would have been an amazing result. That would have, I mean, if that result had held, it didn't matter what would, I mean, and the same result in the home leg had taken place, we still would have passed through. But after all that business where they tied it up late and we ended up leaving there 3-3, which is still a good result, but it wasn't enough in the end. It wasn't enough in the end. That's why these first legs are so important. So,
but Louis, even then,
Well, and that's
when
why, like, for
they
example,
felt kind of like they had a ventaja because they tied it in.
yeah.
We kind of felt like we lost, and I think that's what happened in the second game. They win with that mentality. So you're right. It has a lot of things to do with. For sure, we're gonna play over there. Come back with 2-0, 3-0. That should be the goal.
I won
Not
3.
last minute, huh?
I won 3. I don't want 2.
That's why.
Same. Well, that's what I was going to say. I think me and Jose have established that stuff in the past, they get in themselves in a situation when they could take advantage, set the tone. Like I'm saying, you gotta this. Like Louis said, now this Liguilla, now you gotta full out. I want like what Jose said, 3-0. We don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? We can't be put in the same situation.
Yeah, but
don't even give it a chance.
You don't want to leave any window for funny business back in your home leg. Like there are people who think like going to the first leg, the away leg, and losing 1-0. 1-0, that doesn't matter. They're going to go home and win 3-0, and then you're in the home leg, and you still have that goal deficit, and time passes and time passes and time passes, and then you're backed into a corner like desperate at the end. That is what we don't want. I really don't see that happening against Puebla. It much could happen later on against a different team. That will cross that bridge when we get to it. I don't see that happening with Puebla. I think they're going to go in to Estadio Cuauhtemoc, where historically they haven't been good, but obviously the last few times that they've gone there have been positive results, very positive results. I think they're going to go in there and take care of business.
I mean,
I do think it's going to be a very physical game.
And not like they did against Tijuana in the Clausura 19. When that went 1-3-1, in Tijuana, and then there was no path for Xolos when they came to León. That's what we need.
There was no coming back
for a team like for an opponent like Puebla. We have to lead them with no path, no path to come back.
Exactly.
That first leg.
I was just going to mention real quick because the last time we were in this situation was with LAFC. And Partido de Ida, we could have won easily 5-0. We were kind of like saying, "Oh, it's okay. It's good enough what we had." But no, I think that's the mentality we have to switch. And Ambriz hopefully learned that in el partido de vuelta, no traiciones tu estilo.
Yes. Like if
I don't think so.
Don't play Chuy Godinez.
Yes.
Chuy Godinez, exactly. Oh my God.
Even for me, like even if we're winning 3-0, I don't want Leon to just like, okay, it's 3-0, just pull down the gas. No. If you can score 5, score 5.
Full out, Jose. We're expecting full out because this is what we've been waiting for.
Guys, I think this is the opportunity that we all have, or actually what Ambriz could show that, hey, you know what? All of these people saying that, yeah, super leader, but the same thing is going to happen. They need to start shutting people's mouth. And I think the only way ganando, gustando, the León that we kind of wanted to see durante el torneo regular, we didn't see. What we did see though was a León that ended up knowing how to manejar los partidos, come back from losing, and even finding a way to win them. And like I was saying, they were winning, very dramatic, but we were winning, and that's very important. Here, I think it's more like it's 2 games, or so two-legged games. We could totally. Aquí es cuando now I know what you guys were talking about, Carlos and Louis, about save some goals for the. What were you guys saying? Save some of that for the Liguilla or legs for the Liguilla. What was you guys?
Well, Carlos was very concerned. I don't want to bash the man. He's not here to defend himself, but he was very concerned most of the season. He was very concerned most of the season that we weren't winning by more goals.
Yeah, me too.
And I was like, this is not the time. This is not the time where that matters. And then we kind of found a middle ground, like later on in the season, where they weren't running up the score. They weren't scoring 4 or 5 a game on a regular basis, but they were taking command of the matches in a more satisfying way. And then, there's this whole issue about how a normal Liguilla would start a few days after the regular season ends. This time there was a 2-week layoff at the most bizarre time.
Mhm.
So we had no idea how these repechaje teams were going to come out. Some seem to benefit from it. Some seem to be completely, disheartened by it. Now Puebla, our opponent, has this little bit of motivation that I don't think will carry them through a 2-leg set. I said that. Let me be very clear. I don't think that adrenaline. They can't win a 2-legged set against a much better opponent on adrenaline alone. So that's what I'm saying. And Leon, yeah, we've had this layoff, but I think it's worth mentioning the activity of our players during this layoff. I mean, some of our most important guys had really, really important interventions, appearances with their national teams. I think Angel Mena, who played splendidly for Ecuador this time out.
Jugador Sudamericano de la Conmebol. I think he was like the player of the eliminatorias.
Yeah, he might have been. I didn't see that. But if he doesn't come back motivated from his performances with Ecuador over this past couple weeks, nothing will motivate him more than that. We know how much that is important to him. Meneses played a lot. Chile didn't do as well, but Meneses had some big minutes with Chile. I mean, I'm sure that'll inspire him too. Joel Campbell. I don't know if you saw the replay of the goal he scored for Costa Rica.
I certainly hope he scored something like that in Liguilla.
Well, he scored against
his whole game with Costa Rica. Yes, they were playing against Qatar, which is not a great opponent. But
hey, how do you know that?
Joel Campbell looked amazing in that game for Costa Rica. Like if you can even give 60% of that in 30 minutes as a sub.
That's all he needs. Like 30 minutes of that exact intensity.
Yeah.
I think what we can say is that this season.
So I mean, we got a lot of guys who had important. Yeah, I was just saying a lot of guys who had important activity that should motivate them to come back like fresh and not upbeat. We didn't see the friendlies, but obviously we trounced Irapuato in this last friendly, just a few days short of our first Liguilla match. And I think the team should be in a good place mentally and emotionally to tackle this Liguilla.
Jose, what is
Sorry,
that?
I know. We're not supposed to swear. We're not supposed to swear on this podcast, and I said Irapuato, and so.
No, really, what is that though?
So my apologies for that.
Forgiven. Forgiven. I think we've seen a very mature Leon this season. And the only thing that maybe Jose can look up this stat later, and I think I saw it a couple weeks ago, is that this season Leon was, I want to say, 5 or 6 games like down, and then when they made the comeback, I'm trying to figure out that stat. Maybe you can look it up later, but it was when Leon,
like when we make a comeback when we were down, right?
Yes.
I believe that was 7 games.
7 games?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable because I think we've been on edge during those games where we shouldn't have been. So I'm hoping this Liguilla. I know they're capable of the comebacks, but I don't think we need to be put in that situation. Yeah. So I'm just hoping that from here on out.
I believe in Ambris. I believe in I know he's looking at every single player he has at his. Like one of the things about him too is I think he was just trying these partidos de amistosos. He was trying all these things out while we had our seleccionados playing, and I just feel like he has a better idea of what he wants. I don't know if Aquino's gonna play. He's not, right?
No, not the first leg
because he's red card.
And then Jairo's out as well.
That's bad, guys. But and I say that because I also I'm not like a Louis, but I don't hate the guy. Louis hates him, but Osby, I don't really trust him.
I don't think he's a good football player. I don't think he's a good football player. It's nothing personal.
Hey, no, we were eating tacos, and he was just saying like
we don't use the word hate here. We use dislike. Continue.
He hates him. But anyway, that being said, I highly dislike how he plays because I feel que le da mucha ventaja other teams que nos ataquen de esa banda. I don't think I'd much rather see Tecillo there, but I don't know. Maybe Ambriz feels that Mosquera and Barreiro don't play well in La Central. I'm trying to really understand why Tecillo hasn't. We haven't seen Tecillo as a left back now that Jairo's not playing. I don't know what he's gonna do. But that being said, that's the only thing that I see as como a little problem that I have about maybe winning La Octava. But otherwise, I think we're set, guys. I think we have a really good team, and we're on the right path with Puebla. But yeah, that's my only concern, the Yaito thing. But
I think any singular absence, I think any one absence we can cover as long as Chapo Montes is there. It's Chapo and Diaz Mas. You know,
He's
I think
vital. He's vital.
I think anyone.
didn't play with Irapuato, did he?
He didn't know. No.
Yes.
I mean, I think any one absence we can cover. If it's multiple absences, like it was the last time we ended up in a final, you know, that's a different story. But just, I mean, I think we can cover Yairo's absence. Hopefully, he's available for the semifinals and beyond, because I think he is a player that could make an enormous difference if he's healthy.
We have been covering for Yairo, so I think one more set of games we should be fine.
I'm not that worried about
maybe with semifinal we would. I don't think Osby could. That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, we could cover him.
Definitely need from semifinals because that position is definitely going to be a lot stronger, and I don't think we can keep them on that list. Flag.
No, really, because if you see the games, ahí son de atacar más a León, and it's kind of like they all know, like, oh, that's the weakest side. Nothing against Osby. I really hope que me cae el hocico. Like, that's the kind of guy I am. Like, I'm saying, you suck, bro, until you prove to me that you don't.
He just has inconsistent games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't show up to one, but the next one he does, and we applaud him and he assists. And then it's kind of just the inconsistency that right now we can't afford to have that.
Yeah. No, not right now. Not in Liguilla. But yeah, I think other than that, este paro que hubo, I think what Nacho Ambriz did, hopefully, I believe in him. I really do believe in his method of working. And los jóvenes, I already know he's already kind of like trying to see like all these different kind of players you can actually put. Hopefully he doesn't surprise us that much. Hopefully it's like straightforward, like I don't want to see like a surprise anywhere. But that being said, Aquino's not playing, so I wouldn't mind seeing Fidel Ambriz or Jefecito. I like what I saw from Fidel Ambriz. Jefecito, we already know that and it's healthy, you know, it's healthy the way he's trying to, like with Meneses, you know, he benched him, and then Avion was playing very well, and then Meneses like, hey, I got to step my game up. Maybe that's what he's got to do as well in that contención, because Aquino, we know he's an incredible player, but man, has he made some stupid mistakes. And I don't know if that's a bad word, but he made some stupid mistakes. And I'm just like, we can't afford these in Liguilla. We can't get these red cards. No, really, because I think everybody in the team, I mean, it's that post from Tecillo, and then like Cota le escribió y dijo, sonríe imbécil, que lo que te queda. Like even they're like, come on, bro, like you can't be expulsándote in the first 15 minutes. Like what we feel, they feel, I think. And it's kind of like, that being said, Ambriz, hopefully he knows what he's doing. I think hopefully he benches Aquino in these two games, and then if he wants to play him in the semifinal, then that's fine. But I do believe in Fidel Ambriz and Jefecito. I don't think that's yes, Aquino is way better, but he does have these mistakes that, you know, I think he has to. Tiene que saber que tiene que pagar por eso. So next time he's playing, you know,
he's a better player, but he's error prone.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know how many rojas he's had in the last, like, with Leon. Like, I think
more Carlos had a stat in the chat somewhere.
I've never seen no one else get more red card with Leon. Like, I'm trying to think. Nacho?
I mean, we've had players that have been hot-headed in Leon. So I think we talked about it last podcast. But let's go ahead. Just quickly recap. Santos eliminated by Pachuca. Toluca eliminated by Tigres. What's the next one?
Necaxa Chivas.
Necaxa, sorry. Necaxa eliminated by Chivas. Liguilla, I forgot. I really didn't do it on purpose. I actually forgot about Chivas. And then Monterrey eliminated by.
You're making progress. You're making progress.
Y'all are so shady. So we have the top 8. We have on the screen, you see León versus Puebla, Pumas versus Pachuca, Cruz Azul versus Tigres, and America versus Chivas. I want to give a shout out to Club Puebla MX Twitter account, because if you guys did not see how they were tweeting off their account last night, please check it out. It's hilarious. They were just
those guys.
Yeah, whoever's running the account, good job.
And Leon CM are probably the best, I think, in my opinion.
They really tweeted out some funny stuff minute by minute.
It's
so
going to be like curtidores versus curtidores or something like that, like those guys are funny.
They really are though, because they used to be curtidores.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Shout out to whoever's running the Puebla account. And then shout out to Eddie and Patrick from Rayados. I'm so sorry you guys were eliminated. Shout out to you guys. We feel your pain. I know Eddie was really heated of it. Sorry, Eddie. Sorry, Patrick. And
yeah, man.
Shout out to running Tigres. Good for you.
Yeah, Tigres in English. Shout out to that guy. Yeah, look, man, nothing personal, Tigres guy from Tigres English account. Like, I didn't want Tigres to be eliminated because I hate them. Just because I want people to talk about La Maldición del No Camp. I think that's very clear. I think you guys got to
using this word.
Oh, I don't dislike Tigres at all. I just feel that you guys got to take La Maldición del No Camp seriously. So that's why I still say you guys are going to lose against Cruz Azul. Nothing personal, man.
We should just have Javier with your witchcraft spell segment, because he's really thinking this.
I've been saying it for you.
Shout out to Varo and the other guys from Chivas del Norte. Good friends. Shout out to you guys. We'll see what happens in this next round.
I believe in you, Chivas. I think we're going to win. I'm just saying, I believe in Chivas. I did, guys.
Jose, you ready for your stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do it.
Do you see them or no?
Yeah, so I have Luis Montes stats. Do you want me to do that one first?
Not that one. That's from last week.
Oh, well, they're uploaded today.
Oh, okay. Well, there's one that I believe it says like top 10 goal scorers. You could do that one.
Okay.
And I don't know if you want to play the calculation at some point.
You want me to play it right now?
I mean, whatever you want. Like, if you want, we can just do the stats and then just do the calculation all the way at the end.
Okay.
Or
real quick, Alex Ramirez, shout out to you for joining us. If Leon gets to the final, it would be nice to see a rematch against Cruz Azul or Tigres. I think you're Javier's friend right now.
Exactamente.
Yeah, but
Alex, man,
I'd rather get Cruz Azul than Tigres, because, like Louis was saying, like that's gonna be a boring match.
Yeah, actually, I already said that Tigres is going to lose to Cruz Azul en los últimos minutos. They're going to win 2-0 like in the first half. Second half, Cruz Azul comes back. They tie. They can't go to penales, huh? They're just going to lose. Van a Cruz Azulear. That's what I want. And then I want Cruz Azul, León, la final, and then no camp. We have to do it already, guys. Come on. Let's just get it over with. Let us be campeones.
Be like, by Javier in a perfect world.
Sorry, guys.
No, perfect. You said top 10 assist leaders?
Top 10 goal scorers or assist leaders, either one. Yeah, so that one. So wait, I don't see like I see yours, but I don't. Oh yeah, I see mine now. There you go. So I was comparing like from last season and this season. So in this one, the yellow one is last season. So last season, Mena scored 8 goals. This season, he scored 7, so he's just like one short. Second,
John Meneses.
By the way, this is this is the top scorers from this season. So I'm just comparing it to how they did last season. So Meneses is second with 5
Four.
goals
Oh,
this
oh yeah,
season,
5 yeah.
and then last season he scored 4.
Ooh,
After that, Giglotti 5, and last season when he was at Toluca, he scored 3. So he's much better with Leon.
way better.
Mhm.
Uh, El Chepito Montes, he scored 4 goals this season, and last season he scored 2.
And you guys,
Uh,
he's getting better and better.
Navarro 3. Last season he scored 1, so much better.
Mhm.
El Avión Ramirez, he scored 2,
Oh,
and last season when he was at Descenso, he didn't score any. Jairo this season has scored 1 goal, and then
golazo.
last season he actually was blank, so 0.
He,
And see, if you can just go ahead and do the assist wizards. And again, that's
these are
this is
assists.
for this season. So I'm just comparing it to the yellow. It's to how they did last season.
Yeah,
So the top one is Mena with 5 assists. And the Guardianes 20, and then in Clausura 20, he only had 1. Montes had 3 in the Guardianes 20, and then last season in the Clausura 20, he also had 3. So Navarro so far in the Guardianes has 3 assists. Last season he only had 1. Bion Ramirez 2. Last season he didn't have any. Meneses 1, and then last season he had 1 assist. Osvaldo Rodriguez 1 in the Guardianes, and then none in the Clausura because he didn't really play. Gigliotti 1 assist and 1 assist last season with Toluca, and Gilburon 1 assist and none for last year. Those are the top assist leaders. And then the scoring frequency, I believe.
Was the most goals from outside?
No, that's from last week. So it's the one that says like ranking by scoring frequency.
I don't think I have that one. Oh wait, this one?
See,
minutes.
no,
Damn,
that's
look at this man. How,
that's
that's why
minutes
he's.
play.
That's why he's Super Saiyan.
Yeah, but yeah, sure. Let's go with that one.
Look at Barreiro.
That one. Let's see. Where's it at? Shoot.
Man, look at this. This is impressive. I like
So Montes was actually. I'm just kind of try to read it from here, but Montes had. I believe it was 15.
Looks like over
like
1,500.
like 1,030, I believe it was. And he was actually the one that played todos los minutos alongside Barreiro. After that, it was Cota, which is kind of normal because he's the goalkeeper. So then Tecillo, Angel Mena, Gigliotti, El Avión Ramirez, and then Fernando Navarro. And even though he's been out for so long, Jairo is in there, and at number 10 of the players with the most minutes. Wait. Yeah, and I don't know if you can find the one. It's just like ranking by scoring frequency. It's just like ranking there we go. That one. So this one, so the green is the Guardianes, and the yellow it's last season. So I'm just comparing to last season. So Uh, Mena scoring frequency for the Guardianes is he scores every 179 minutes last season. But just keep in mind it was only 10 matches. So it's he had a scoring frequency of 108 minutes. And then Meneses comes second. He scored this season. He scored a goal every 227 minutes. Last season in a Clausura 2020, he scored every 216 minutes. Gigliotti this season, he scored 5 goals and he scores every 237 minutes. Then last season with Toluca, he scored every 175 minutes, but he also played less. So Navarro scored this season every 379 minutes. Last season, he scored every 675 minutes. So, and Montes, he scores every 382 minutes. Last season, he scored every 357 minutes, but also less matches. So that's probably why it's lower. Avion Ramirez scores every 472 minutes. Last season, he actually didn't score any goals. So 0. Jair Moreno, he only scored 1 goal, then he scored minutes. And last season, he didn't score also. And that's it for that one. Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, I think all the other stuff I'm still working on, but so there was something that les debía de la semana pasada, so I made a compilation of like goals from outside the area and free kicks by Montes, so I hope you enjoy it.
Let's do it.
Yes.
That's from the Clausura 13.
Oh my God. Golazo! Goal! Del Chapo! Super Saiyan Chapo. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Psh, no, I was there. I was there at that game. I remember that one.
Which
Oh,
is your
man.
favorite?
Yeah. Which was my favorite? Hey, that Atlas was golazo. I was there when this is against Cruz Azul. When we eliminated them, right? In cuartos? Or was it this one?
No, that was
Oh, never mind. You're right. The uniform was different. They had the stripe ones. Siempre que le metemos goles hacia el Morelia brings back good
Oof.
memories. Golazo. Oh my God! Look at that one.
I see.
Was that Tena era? Oh yeah, this is the one where Nahuel Guzman was. Yeah, he was talking trash, right, to La Paz de Leon. Yeah.
yeah.
Oof. He made that one look easy. And he's like a Super Saiyan, guys. Look at that. Kamehameha! Look at that golazo. Oh, luego este. Ni se diga. Tómala, papá. Donde las arañas hacen su nido.
Ooh, I like that one.
Ooh. Against Morelia, man.
All the good old days.
It was semifinals, Louis?
No, this is quarterfinals.
It was some kind of final. That's all I remember. I feel que nos robaron ese partido,
Yeah.
¿no? También. Si mal no recuerdo.
No, we passed like easily in that quarterfinal, and then we lost to Pachuca in the semifinal.
Oh, we
when they were
I thought we lost it to this.
No, not that tournament.
Thank you, Jose, for your stats.
Gracias.
And thank you for the compilation video. We needed it. We needed a boost. Chapito Montes is going to do his absolute best because he ages like wine. And he is the best.
Así va a meter un gol. Así, I don't know when, but he's going to make one.
Okay, guys, we're getting near the end, but we cannot leave without our predictions. Not just for the first leg of Leon versus Puebla, but also the other first legs of the rest of the matches. So let's go ahead and get to QR predictions video, courtesy of Louis.
Prediction time, prediction time, prediction time, prediction time, prediction time, prediction time.
Yes, nothing but good vibes. Guys, first leg, miércoles, Wednesday, Leon versus Puebla. Let's go ahead and start off with Louis. What's your first leg prediction?
I'm gonna go with a 3-1 Leon win in Puebla.
3-1. Javier.
3-0, papá. 3-0. We gotta win like that. Even if I'm wrong.
Jose.
Same. Can I now say 3-0, Louis?
Now you can say 3-0. You guys were
Am I allowed to now?
crap about me. Because I always wanted a 3-0, but I guess it's gonna happen in Liguilla. Jose, me and you were gonna get it right. Okay. Louis giving them a little bit of a chance. Louis, look what Club Leon wrote. That we want to show from the start that there is no hope. There you go. And there is no point in hoping for a miracle.
Yes.
Who said that? Thomas Müller. Próximamente, contratación de León. No.
Shout out to Carlos. His prediction, the 2-0 Leon first leg. I'm gonna go with 3-0 as well. I don't want to give Puebla any chance.
No hope. No.
So that's our first leg predictions. Let's see. Angel, Jonathan, Nico Sosa, and Campbell open up the gates.
Maybe they're inspired. Le metieron al Irapuato.
Que aparezcan en Liguilla if it didn't show up in regular season.
Yeah, they were saving their goals for.
Oh my god,
Alex, are you talking about first leg or aggregate?
I think he's talking about the aggregate. The aggregate.
Okay.
5-1 aggregate. Yeah.
Pretty decent. That's kind of what I have too.
Alex, give us your first leg prediction. Are you saying a 3-1 like Louis, or what are you saying?
Yeah, what are you saying? Are you saying we're gonna go Liarlo?
I agree with him. I agree with him because I mean we're gonna give our second leg predictions too as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna try and figure out if we can podcast Thursday after the first leg on Wednesday.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So that would be our second leg prediction.
This is more simple.
Okay, guys. Yeah, let's just get through the first leg.
Yeah. All right.
And then we'll see what happens after. Besides Leon versus Puebla, guys, Pumas versus Pachuca. First leg prediction, Louis.
Pumas versus Pachuca. First leg prediction. In Pachuca, I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Pachuca win.
2-1 Pachuca win. Javier.
I'm going with a 1-1 draw in Pachuca.
1-1 draw. Jose.
Nothing in Pachuca?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be different, so I'm just gonna be. I'll just say 2-0 for
2-0. Pachuca.
2-0 Pachuca. I'm gonna say 1-1 draw as well, like Javier. And Club Leon, Carlos says 1-1 draw also with Pumas versus. Alex did clarify and said, sorry, my phone changed the word, but yes, aggregated 5-1. Interesting.
Got it. You scared me there for a second, Alex.
Well, he did say first leg Leon 2-1 and second leg Leon wins 3-0. Let's move on to the next match. Cruz Azul versus Tigres. Louis, first leg prediction.
I'll go with a 1-1 draw there.
Javier.
2-1 Tigres.
2-1 Tigres, first leg.
They're gonna lose still, but 2-1. Let them have that.
And that's El Volcán, or is that at
In
the?
El Volcán.
Yeah, they're playing
Volcán.
in Monterrey first.
One. Tigres. I feel like it's gonna be a close one, so I'll say 1-0 for Tigres.
1-0 Tigres. I'm gonna go with the draw. I'm gonna go 1-1. Carlos gave us a prediction. He said Tigres 1-0 win for Tigres in the first leg. And let's go topping off the last game, America versus Chivas. Louis, give us your scoreboard for the first leg.
America 2-0. Even
2-0 over Chivas.
Even at the Akron. Yeah, 2-0 America.
Javier, first leg prediction.
Chivas hermanos, I believe in your team. I want to face you
You're
guys.
gonna give Louis a heart attack. You need to restrict your words right now.
Yeah. Look, I am more anti-Americanista than anything. But look, that's all I'm saying. It has nothing to do with America or Chivas. It's just who I want to see in the semifinal. I want León versus Chivas. So that being said, and I want Pumas to be Pachuca. 2-0 Chivas.
2-0
in Guadalajara though. 2-0. Anything could happen in El Azteca. I might be dead wrong.
Jose. He frozen.
Jose's kind of frozen.
No, he's contemplating. He's like
1-0 Chivas. Oh, am I frozen?
No, you're good.
Wait. 1-0 Chivas.
1-0 Chivas.
But I feel like se la van a voltear en el Azteca. But yeah, 1-0.
Yeah.
1-0 Chivas. I'm gonna go 2-2. I'm gonna go another draw. I'm not sure. The first legs are very deceiving because we don't know what's gonna happen the second leg. So I'm gonna go 2-2.
I'm just wondering where those 2 goals are gonna come from, though.
The Chivas?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Carlos said 2-1 America, maybe 1 or 2 Reds. Very heated game. Anticipating the first
I can see
leg.
that.
And those are our first leg predictions. Wednesday and Thursday. Of course, our team plays on Wednesday, so we'll definitely be back on Thursday to recap what happened in the first leg of León versus Puebla. Guys, anything else before we take off?
Arriba la Fiera. That's it.
Always, every day.
That's all I got to say.
Do you want us to mention Carlos' international minutes play or no?
Oh, the international minutes.
You got him on hand? You can say him.
Yeah. So, by the way, shout out to Carlos because I'm actually reading off his stat. So the record for the international minutes by our players. The first one, Mena, with Ecuador. He played 170 minutes and he had 2 goals and 2 assists. Next one was Pedro Aquino with Peru. He played 126 minutes. No goals, no assists. 180 minutes and 1 assist for Gil Meneses with Chile. Then William Tecillo and Rodolfo Cota sit out for Mexico and for Colombia. They were unused substitutes. And Joel Campbell with Costa Rica, he played 164 minutes and had 1 goal.
Awesome activity by Fiera's international respected team. Thank you for that. Shout out to Carlos and thank you, Jose, for giving us those stats in regards to those players. I know we have a lot of our greatest players playing for the international team. Bless them for coming back and getting ready to prepare for next matchup. Blue Leon said, only team who can be as big as a fracaso as Monterrey would be Leon if we end up losing. Good vibes, good vibes. Check it out. Good vibes, good vibes. First leg. Just focus on first leg. And like me and Jose, we want to see them go all out because this is their opportunity to get ahead on the scoreboard, not have to deal with the mental aspect after in the second leg. We lost Javier, but no problem. You'll see him back on Thursday. He said, but that's not gonna happen. Okay. Not gonna happen. Shout out to everybody that joined on the chat. Alex Ramirez, thank you for your scoreboards. Club Leon, Carlos, we miss you. We need you back. Angel, Jonathan 09 also joining us, and everybody else via Periscope and YouTube who stopped by. Thank you so much. We are gonna take off, but we will expect you guys to be back to join us for the recap of the first leg of Leon versus Puebla on Thursday. Hopefully, we have good vibes. But yeah, so we're gonna take off. Louis and Jose, let's go. Take off.
Thank you for joining us. See you next week.
See you guys.